Hey everybody, welcome to Divine Thursday for January 28th, 2021. I'm your host, DM Gallibond. Alright, tonight on Divine Thursday, we're going to be looking at something a little bit different. Normally we look at spells that have come into D&D and maybe they're brand new for 5th edition. Maybe they've been around in previous editions and they have a little bit of history. This one is not it. This one comes from outside of traditional D&D. This one comes from Acquisitions Incorporated sourcebook. A few weeks ago we looked at some monsters that came out of Wildamount, which is Matt Mercer's property from Critical Role, and tonight this spell comes out of Acquisitions Incorporated, which is from the Penny Arcade people, specifically DM Jerry Hulkins and Mike Grulik, and Scott, and all the others that play as part of the Acquisitions Incorporated main story and the B team and the C team. I guess the C team is the other show, and the B team is referenced in the C team's show, if you will. All right, so we're going to take a look at this, which means tonight is not entirely serious, and we're going to be looking at some ways to kind of liven up your D&D session by having a more humorous campaign in the vein of the way that the AI people do. All right, let's go ahead and let us move over to our spell, and we will take a look at this. The spell itself, Incite Greed, is a 3rd level enchantment spell for clerics, sorcerers, warlocks, and wizards. And it requires a material component which is a gem of at least 50 gold pieces in value. And basically, it is a modified version of Hypnotic Pattern. Because you pull out this gem and choose any number of creatures within 30 feet, and you hold this gem out, and if they fail their wisdom save, they get charmed by you, and all they can do is just kind of walk forward and gaze adoringly at, or gaze greedily at the gem that you're holding in your hand. And the duration of the spell is 1 minute, or until you or your companions attack the creature. So it's it's kind of a it's kind of something that you would probably only use in an Acquisitions Incorporated game, because if you think about it, it really takes the caster out of the fight, because the caster is having to do then nothing but crowd control um, for the rest of the fight, because wherever the caster goes, everybody's following the caster around looking greedily at this gem. So you then have to figure out what you're going to do in that case, or you could maybe use it to avoid a combat in the first place if you throw this spell out there. And this is the kind of thing that you find in the Acquisitions Incorporated games. If you've never listened to it, you can go back and find the podcast feed either through D&D Beyond or Wizards of the Coast website or the Penny Arcade website, and go and look for the original games, which started as 4E games um, with Chris Perkins as the DM, and then the adventuring party, which called themselves Acquisitions Incorporated, being Jerry Hulkins, Mike Krahulik, and Scott Kurtz, and then there was a rotating fourth chair um, that they had for many of their games, and that particular campaign has morphed into a long-running live game that they do at all of the PAX events. Obviously, they haven't had any of those recently, um, and I haven't kept up with it to know whether they've done any sessions at the time they would normally do PAX in the year of 2020 or not. Um, but they and then Jerry, uh, working out of the uh, home offices uh, Penny Arcade, he has put together his own show called Acquisitions Are Incorporated, a C Team, and he's got a dedicated group of players that play in that campaign. So um, that has been a long-running game now. It's probably gone on for 5 or 6 years at this point, and is a pretty interesting and fun game if you get a chance to see that. All right. Thinking about what happens in Acquisitions Incorporated and how, why a spell like Incite Greed would be in there. Just this gives you a little bit of flavor out of the Acquisitions Incorporated source book. Um, so they have different um, takes on every character class. So barbarian. Uh, their tag for barbarian is you don't need to be the smartest person in the room. You just need to be able to kill everyone else in the room so you're the smartest person left. And they talk about barbarians as CEOs or barbarians, in the corporate world. Um, then um, let's see, bards. Uh, There's nothing I would like to do more than explain to you why I'm standing here with stolen goods and my rapier sticking out of this still warm corpse, officer. I assure you, I have a complete, reasonable, and plausible explanation. Um, that comes from. That sounds like exactly something that would have come out of the mouth of Patrick Rothfuss when he was playing Viari, uh, which is a long-running character in the Acquisitions Incorporated game as part of that fourth chair. Um, then clerics, I have faith in the power of the marketplace, and I see a lot of non-believers out there with money to spend. uh, and then acquisition as a holy chore. Uh, so this is the kind of thing that they do. So you can have a little bit of a take on the game that's not quite so serious if you want to just have a completely fun and madcap adventure. A druid, my plan for creating an intern tier consisting of nothing but giant ants should allow us to increase productivity by 37%. Who's with me? And then da, 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 so monk. Uh, oh, I'm sorry. Fighter. Where did fighter go? Best thing about blood money is that it spends just as readily as any other kind of money. And then monk, some call the unseen energy flowing through all things key. I call it the invisible hand of the marketplace. Now let's negotiate your surrender. Paladin, my companions did what? The screams could be heard from how far away? Ranger, all that is gold does not glitter, but frankly, if you've got the choice, take the glittering gold every time. The non-shiny stuff loses a ton of resale value. And then Rogue, I know you went through those documents pretty quickly, and now you're probably asking yourself, wait, did I sign 6 addenda or only 5? So you've got to ask yourself one question: do I feel properly contractually represented? Well, do you, punk? Sorcerer, yes, that's a fine idea. We should totally put that to a vote. Hey, that's weird. My hands are starting to glow. Is anyone else seeing that? Warlock, no, you don't understand. My magic exists outside any known reality. I wield the power of an entity that dwells beyond space and time. Clearly, none of the profits created by that magic are taxable in this realm. And then, Wizard, yes, I can get you inside that vault. I can locate that secret treasure you're all hyped about. I can get you out with no collateral damage. I'm fine if you care less about the no collateral damage thing. Now, let's get down to business. So, this is, yeah, that's a little bit of a taste of Acquisitions Incorporated and how Incite Greed fits into the whole ethos of that milieu. Uh, can be a great way to do a side campaign or a great way to do a um, take a break from a main game, especially if you're in a game that's kind of dark and gritty and has a lot of high stakes. Going and doing something like an Acquisitions Incorporated game where it's just fun and nonsense can be a nice release. All right, well, that's going to do it for today. That's all we have for Divine Thursday. Thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe to the channel. Click the uh, or like the video, share the video, click the post notification bell. We are closing in on a milestone of sorts in terms of subscribers, so we'll do something for that. I'll do a special video when we hit that next milestone. And check out in the description, you'll find how to follow all the live streams that I do and how to follow me on social media platforms. Thank you very much. Take care and have a wonderful evening. Good night, everybody.